And even with this administration in the White House, Ukraine can not only win, but also come out into the king. And what kind of times? Guess. Well, now the background to how the United States from the end. The 80s and early 90s did everything in their power to prevent the collapse of Russia. This is their nightmare, inherited from one administration to another, from Republicans to Democrats and so on in a circle. And all because of the nuclear legacy of the USSR. How to dispose of it. How to control in the event of the disintegration of Mordor into an up-punished principality. This is the strongest, as they call it, pain in their ass. Therefore, they are sinking Ukraine as best they can, so that it does not defeat and destroy it, of course. So here a situation emerges in which the states, no matter how corrupt traitors they are, and we will have to reckon with Ukraine, moreover, rely on the one, as a future guarantor of stability in the region. If, in spite of everything, Ukraine survives and defeats Russia, and this will require the mobilization of all sane forces in Europe with the provision of Ukraine with everything necessary for this mission, both weapons and material resources, and volunteers, and possibly the armed forces of European states dressed as volunteers, on the principle of little green men in Crimea, 2014, then even to the red-haired grandfather from the Oval Office. There will be nothing left but to negotiate with Zelensky to accept the entire former Russian nuclear arsenal, with the further placement, distribution and disposal of warheads with an expired shelf life, as well as control over usable missiles and other warheads. Well, how? For all the hatred of Trump and his mutts for Ukraine and Zelensky, you can't give the world's largest nuclear arsenal to the Chinese, right? But a country that has gone through fire, water, and copper pipes, like it or not, can be trusted. You can't take it to yourself either. You're not a winner. And the ghosts in Ukraine are the same Soviet as in Russia, in relation to its use and technical support. And you will have to do it. There will be no other way out. And by and large, for these powers, will it be necessary to turn to the states at all? Only if they continue to supply weapons. And so, I think, to tear everything apart with Europe, and send Trump altogether. Who is he? Let him go to his dear friend, take the wreath to the grave, to the red square to the wall or to the mausoleum, where they will bury it there. So all this current mess can lead to such an ending as a result. Well, in any case, there is a possibility, and it is considerable. Well, think about it, and can you imagine the faces of the Arkanauts if everything ends like this?